If these streets are familiar to you and the buildings in the background, that probably means you're a Newfoundland hockey fan. And if you're a Newfoundland hockey fan, you must know about the legend of Terry Ryan. You probably know him from stuff like this.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I...
And now Terry's being kind enough to take us with him through the day in the life of just a classic TR. So, first stop is his father's basement.
We played the Jets, and I went over right after the game and got it. Now that's, look at that. People today wouldn't believe that. That's Hull's stick. We had just played him, and he could handle that. A puck, he was so skilled, just like, you know, you would with a straight blade, whatever, but that's something. B-hole here, just, he was unique because his, you might have all the others when I came through was Northland Pro or Sherbrooke. His was Gunzo's in Chicago supplied him with his sticks. And that was that's unique. I don't know of anyone else that had Gunzo's. And so I kept that. That's basically 50 years old now. And there's a bunch of sticks here. These are three of my coveted, these are my coveted sticks. There's Bobby Orr and Wayne Gretzky. And this, they're all worth money. I know they are, but I'd never, that's Orr. Hardly any curve at all, as you can see. Hardly any. Just simply B Orr. And this one was Gretzky's, Terry's agent, Mike Barnett, was Gretzky's agent. So he got him to get us a stick. It says to Terry, best wishes to all my friends in Newfoundland, 1984 or 86, whatever. But what makes this unique, W. Gretzky, this is the original wooden Titan that he used. If you go back and people see highlights of the Edmonton Oilers and whatever, this is the original. This is wooden, the Titan, and that's unique. Once again, it's probably worth money on eBay, whatever, but they're the three I covet the most. And I have a number of all, Michel Goulet, Mark Recchi, a lot of Hall of Famers, but this one here, I think, is probably worth the most money. This is worth money. This is Grand Fuhrer. It's goalie stick, as you can see, Sherwood. But what makes it unique is he's got this, the 7th game, they just won the Stanley Cup. And as you can see, it says Grand Fuhrer, but they're all on it. Messier, Krushelnyski, Gretzky, Moog, Paul Coffey, Marty McSorley, Mark Napier, Dave Semenko. There's Gretzky there, but to an Edmonton Oiler fan, I guess that's right up there. But because the goalie stick, I got it siphoned off over in the corner. But that's a pretty important stick, really. And once again, I'm sure goalie sticks, I don't know. All the others have gone what they call carbon or, you know, metallic. I would think goalie sticks have too. I don't know, but this is the original. That's Grand Fuhrer's original stick. And like I say, we have a bunch of others. I'm looking there. God, I don't have my glasses. There's Mark Recchi. Goulet is in the corner. I have a bunch of others, but these are all, as you can see, this took years to accumulate. We're very much into the music and the Beatles and whatever, but I'm 18 years old, they're assistant captain for the Hamilton Red Wings, so that's 50 years old. There's pictures of Terry, of course, just after fighting with somebody. That's the famous Bobby Orr goal he scored against Glenn Hall. Noel Picard upsets him. Just got the feed from Derek Sanderson to win the Stanley Cup. These are things of Terry. highlights as we were out in Vancouver. He's the MVP of the biggest bantam tournament in Western Canada, and New Pee Wee, far from a joke, is done in the Vancouver province. That's my Hall of Fame one. These are jerseys. That's my Kalamazoo Wings at Detroit's Farm Club. I played 2 years with them. That's Terry when they won the Orlando Seals. That's taken right after the draft that day. And of course, Terry he has a huge fountain in downtown Edmonton. That's Brad Church, who went number 17 to Washington. Terry and Shane Doan, who just went number 7 right in front. They all had the same agent, Mike Barnett, and they just jumped into the fountain. There's the Tri-City Americans here. One of the nicest crests, I think, in hockey. In hockey, it's beautiful. You can see Tri-City with the eagle and the puck. This is from Terry's National Ball Hockey Championships, playing for Canada, of course. That's when one year he played for Ireland, because he had the name Ryan, of course. You had the heritage. So he played for Ireland. They went to the semifinals. That's his Red Deer Rebel. Junior, that year they played. They had 8 number 1 picks. Should have won it, and they lost in 7 games in the Western Hockey League final to the Lethbridge Broncos. And all they had that I think was Chris Phillips, who went number 1. They had Byron Ritchie.
Shane Willis could really snipe, man.
Shane Willis could snipe, but
he had 25 in the NHL 3 years ago.
But I think overall your team.
Scott Stevens ended his career.
Yeah, he did. But I think overall, would you say your team was more talented? You had better players.
Byron Ritchie.
Byron Ritchie was good.
Great junior.
And this is St. John's Maple Leafs. Terry has other jerseys at his place, like his Montreal Canadian, and that's the St. John's Maple Leaf. That's the Idaho Steelheads. That's the Colorado Gold Kings in the corner. These are, of course, this here is Montreal Canadian taken right out of the Forum. His agent sent us these. They were, when they took the Forum down, they were the seats G. That's a nice one too. This is WHL.
Actually, seniors,
All-star
I'll wear
uniform.
that on the rec hockey tonight.
Yeah, you can.
Why not?
Here you go. All live on camera. This is me. That's the one few you people might not know. That's Minnesota Fighting Saints. I was there. Yeah, that was the it was nice jerseys over there. I got that. I had to track it down on the wall. And that's Johnny Cash, of course. These are all mementos. K-Wings. There's a Minnesota Fighting Saints mug. The rigueur. There's the Terry's Western Hockey League All-Star. That's classic here. Babe Ruth's last game in Yankee Stadium. Well, not his last game, but he's got cancer. He's ready to die within like a couple of weeks. There's the Beatles, which is once again de rigueur. That's another ball hockey team, Terry, when they won the championship in, I think, Sierra, Switzerland. That's the CHL All-Star when he was player of the game in Kitchener. That's greatest album of all time. I had, put in the whatever, what do you call that, frame, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. Beatles once again. This one here, that's the one that was recalled, called the Butcher album. And it showed, you see the babies, they were protesting Vietnam. Babies were all caught up to like the dolls, and they put 6,000 out on the market and quickly recalled them. And that's one of them. That's worth, I guess, a few bucks. That's the Beatles there when they were in Washington Sports Arena. There's some of these are pretty hard to get, I got to say. That's my uniform there, Fighting Saints. One with the Rolling Stones live in concert. Elvis, Janis Joplin, it's one of my favorites right there. There's when Brad Richards, who's a friend of ours, very good friend of Terry's. We used to go to his golf tournament every year when they won the Stanley Cup. And these are all jerseys over there, Ireland. Mount Pearl Blades senior jersey. Slovakia that he traded, I guess, with one of the players on the ball hockey team. There's a Growlers uniform. Once again, Canada's national team, the gold medal, I think, in Dusseldorf, Germany. And all here, if you can see the mess.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, this is the Cincinnati one? I mean, it may as well. I always interchange some, right? Just like they're sitting down here, so now I'll take these. That's Canada's inline one. I'll take these and wear them now. I just started wearing them. I'm like, it's great to be on the wall and everything, but I'd like to use them too, right?
All right.
I didn't use them for years because I was just like cocky wearing your own jerseys.
This is
They're all here, like they're so nice.
This is Splitting Chicklets. It's the biggest podcast in the United States. We were on it, and of course the boys. That's the. If I can turn it around, I don't even know if. There it is, Spitting Chicklets. We got mugs and jerseys and all that.
I'm gonna bring you down some off my wall.
About 6.5 million people in the States.
Oh, wait, keep that up, Senior. Keep
Paul Bissonnette played for the Arizona Coyotes. They were here for about 3 days filming.
Here, let me put it down. Let me see your face.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Jerry.
No, smile. You don't have to. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Here, and let me get Senior. There's the lights right there. Let me see it from this angle. Here. Deadly. Great pick.
Now, before, after, there you go. And these are all, as I said, put the Splitting Chicklets there. This is Ireland. We got 3 or 4 of Ireland.
Trophy. Snag that.
That's when I was playing. The only one I got a few souvenirs when I played. That's when I played for Kalamazoo Wings. I was Player of the Week. That's the Olympic. This Bobby Orr's Olympic. I forget where that was, but it's the Olympic jersey or sign. I had to track this down too. Sweatshirt, Minnesota Fighting Saints. I kept that. I have a few things. Not near as much as Terry, obviously, but
You do. You got lots of stuff.
there's a nice one too, Terry. Always like this one. For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Now mine.
That's a nice jersey too.
That's the wrong. So I was number 20. I grabbed the wrong one on the way back.
Yeah, that's
It's
nice.
my teammates.
That's in.
Anyway.
That could have been anywhere. Could have been in Pittsburgh. Could have been
That
anywhere.
one was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That was Pittsburgh.
They and of course there's my Hamilton Red Wing. There's 50 years old that I took when I graduated. And as you can see, look at the difference in uniform now. It's sort of a different material. It's certainly not as bulky, but it's still a dandy uniform to look for. And of course, de rigueur, Black Horse. Where would we be without Black Horse and a beer after the game? Now, there's a story behind this one. There's a group from Hamilton called Monster Truck. They're rock and roll. They played with Terry. Who are the other groups they've been with on stage?
Oh my God! They opened for Guns N' Roses.
Guns N'
Their
Roses.
song, "The Enforcer," is the Leap Skull song.
Yes. Well, he's from Kiley. Steve Kiley's from Hamilton, and of course we had a real tie-in, and he sent that down to us, autographed, official, Monster Truck Hockey Club. He loves playing hockey, and we hear from him, Terry more so than me, occasionally when they're on tour. They're just, of course, they haven't been touring now for a year, but there's Terry's Republic of Doyle. That's a nice little keepsake. And the podcast here, a guy from Collingwood, Ontario, I think, had those made. There's like works of art. And that's in my Fighting Saints Day. And this is Terry, of course, Montreal Canadiens. And the name of the podcast, he had that done too. Third Man In. But like really, we got them in the mail. Didn't know what it was. And I said, Terry, you got something here. It's heavy. When am I supposed to open it? So I opened it and I didn't know what was going on. But these are they're really hard. If people here could lift them, they're heavy. That's solid wood made in he owns a factory or something, Terry?
What?
He owns a factory or something in Collingwood. The guy who sent them, guy from Ontario.
I forget his name too. I'll find it though.
And of course, there's a nice little keepsake, 1995 NHL entry draft. That's when it was a big deal. My draft, Queen Elizabeth Hotel. No one even went to it. They just call you and said, "We just drafted you." Okay, fine. And there's the cap. That's a nice keepsake right there. It's the only one left. All the ones we had, 1995 NHL entry draft, and I kept them more so than Terry because I've one degree. The degrees I have is a history degree, so I'm very conscious of history, and I knew down the road that would be important. This one here, you won't find one of these.
Oh, God.
That's my Minnesota North Star, 1972. That's what I got at the draft. And there's not many of them left because there's no more Minnesota North Stars. They're the Minnesota Wild. So I had a sense, I guess, to keep it, and it would be worth, I don't know, something, just keepsake more or less, to hang on my Babe Ruth poster. And of course, there's a lot of potpourri here. This is Creature from the Black Lagoon and the Wolfman. They're from an actual, in LA, a friend of ours who's very much into sci-fi went out there, and these were like originals. He knew the right strings to pull and whatever, and these are originals from whatever, and he gave them to us. And so I keep them there. Like I say, it's eclectic. St. Pat's at the ballpark. He's showing me there the swing, the patented Ted Williams swing. I asked him, because I'm a huge New York Yankee fan, and I said, Mr. Williams, of course, I said, who are the best hitters that in your day? And I mentioned Mantle. He said he was one of them. Mickey Cochran, who used to be a catcher, I think, for the Yankees, a Hall of Fame. And oddly enough, most people would think Hank Greenberg, Hall of Famer for Detroit Tigers, first baseman. There's Pete Rose, having a laugh. Terry, of course, they're ready to go out in Cincinnati. They're going to honor Rose that night. This is Sam Roberts from the Sam Roberts band. Wesley Snipes, that's in the Planet Hollywood in Montreal. That's once again, that's me when I was in Minnesota. There's Bobby Hull. Ty Domi and Terry fighting winless Leafs need more tough ties. A good friend of ours. Ron McLean. Don Cherry, of course. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tommy Rowe, a lot of people would know, but people of my generation would. Dizzy, 2 or 3 #1 hits. I spent all afternoon. Terry's All-Star game was in Kitchener, and because his agent was Gretzky's agent, I spent all afternoon at Wayne's house. It says to Terry, best wishes, Walter Gretzky, to Terry, best wishes. What was his mother? Phyllis. Phyllis Gretzky. There's Wayne. Terry, Montreal had played the Rangers that night. Wayne came over. Jeremy Charles, of course, of culinary renown. That's my claim to fame there. Played an exhibition game in St. Petersburg, Florida. It says that Terry loved Liza Minnelli. She was the biggest female star in the world then. St. Petersburg Hilton in the penthouse. Actually, 2 buddies went up and she signed them for us. That's Terry's draft. He just drafted 8th overall. Very good friend of ours, Sheldon Surrey, played with Terry in Tri-City. That's Harbor Grace when they won the Herder. Nice shot there. This is, if I went over to guys in that team, that's Team Pacific at the World Under 18. There's about 15 #1 picks there. Redden, Doan, Terry, Kyle, McLaren. Oh my God! I'd it'd take you all day to fill it out, to say it. There's Terry and his junior, Montreal. I'm scoring there on Jerry Cheevers, Cleveland Cavaliers. the no, the Cleveland Crusaders, I think, was there. And yeah, Cleveland Crusaders in the World Hockey. Of course, I had to have that one. I saw it and I took it out and I put it up. It's gone. That's the old Yankee Stadium, and that's Mickey Mantle at the bat, his last at bat in Yankee Stadium. The others up there, you have to go up. The one I'm most proud of, I guess, as you go up the steps. I'll turn the light on here a bit. I'm a Wild Wild West fan. And when Terry played in Colorado, I went out, a buddy of mine actually was a big fan of the team. He's from Long Island, New York. Took me up to Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That's the grave of Doc Holliday of Tombstone fame, shootout at the OK Corral. That's him. That's in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. I'm at the, like I said, the gravesite. I couldn't wait to go. There's about 4 hours north of Denver. But a beautiful place. These were Terry's Fredericton Canadian. Chris Nyland, of course, here. Pretty good friend of ours. That's Terry with the Fredericton Canadians, Rookie of the Year. That's they were when half of them were Montreal and half were the LA Kings. That's the WHL, the All-Star game when it was half the team was West and half were Quebec playing against Ontario. And once again, that's a who's who of, if you went through, of NHLers. But this is called our Wall of Fame. And these are the plaques there. MVP in Tri-City. Quinnell Millionaires when he's 14. Fighting Domi again. But they're all very, very nice memories. And as we go in, there's our coat we wore, as you go out for warm-up, skating around, and like usually on a Monday when you had no equipment, Minnesota Fighting Saints. And these are Terry's on the calendar with Sergei Zholtak, who died of a massive heart attack. He was a young man, like 33, 34 years old. And Terry was on.
Not only that,
Terry was on to Montreal.
That was his thing. I'm in shape.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Yes, in immaculate shape.
Before like anything was a thing,
Yeah.
like he was taking creatine. He
Yeah,
was
massive.
watching what he ate.
Massive heart attack.
Yeah.
And there, of course, is All You Need Is Love. As true today as it was 50 years ago. That's the Beatles, of course. That's their famous one. They came out with number ones. Of course, another marketing genius. Sold like 20 million. That was a cover. All You Need Is Love with the heart. And there's Terry over here to show he was in. The Terry, what was the name of that show? Oh, Young Dog?
Little Dog.
Little Dog, right here. That's that's a poster they had made up, of course, like it's a boxing, St. George versus Ross, Saturday, St. John's Arena, October 7th. This here, of course, once again, got to get my Yankees in. My beloved Yankees, Mantle, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, and Jeter. Probably 5 of the greatest Yankees in history. And these, as you see, these are all the covers of, I collect a number of magazines, rock magazines, as you notice. This is Classic Rock, Mojo, Uncut. These are all from London. And you can get them at Chapters where I get them. Uncut, Classic Rock, all the way through Planet Rock with Motorhead. These, as you can see, I've got them everywhere. There's Phil Lynott from the Thin Lizzy, Springsteen. And that's my cooler actually on a Friday when I put my dozen beer. That's a cooler from Red Bull, compliments of Red Bull. And that's you can see here. These are approximately 3,000 albums, and of course on top of that you've got the cassettes. When the cassettes went out, I got the CDs, and then of course the albums were were the beginning. There's some valuable albums in there too, I have to say. And these were, when you had the albums, you could take the liner notes, and I put a lot of them, well, you can't get it anymore, of course, it's CDs. And these are all, oh wow, they're all 40, 50 years old. Behind that, you've got, the Eagles. My favorite poster, you can't see it, is America and Anaheim stadiums, like from a fishnet lens. You can't see it, but it's just fabulous. About 60,000 people. And that one over there, I'm very proud. Terry got that somewhere. Elvis Presley one. That was, I don't know where he's playing, Baton Rouge or something.
Terry, explain this one. The Dennis
Oh,
Rodman
Dennis
one.
Rodman, yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually a chapter out of my new book, Fights, Film, and Folklore. This is my buddy Paul Eels. Paul and I played outfield for the Mount Pearl Knights in baseball. This would have been like obviously the late 90s. So it was the summertime. We're at, point when I say we play baseball, because I'm in right field, he's in center, so it's this part of you're talking a lot. Outfielders, what else you got to do? Some games the ball doesn't even get hit out there. So I've always noticed that amongst pitcher, catcher, whatever. But in my career, sports career, become close with the outfielders, whatever. So Paul was a real good friend, and I'd grown up with him. Jose Theodore called me in the middle of the summer, or I guess it was July. So it was July. Because I often think when I look back, seeing Rodman there, I thought they were in the playoffs, but they weren't. So, but anyway, I guess they'd just won it. So it comes up in The Last Dance, actually. So anyway, Jose Theodore called and said, "Are you going to the party?" I said, "What party?" I had no idea. So we had finished the year with the team. So the Canadians were good like that. They'd often had, so me and Jose and maybe a couple other prospects were there on the last day. So technically, we're on the Canadians. So our names are on, and they did that for a reason. So our names, if you go in the room, our names are on the plaque. That'll be there forever. And we would get invited to these events. So so I did the first, it ended up being Brad Richards' golf tournament, but before that, they just had like a Pro-Am skins game kind of thing. And they flew me up because, again, I finished the year, Terry Ryan of the Montreal Canadiens, when, I played like 3 games that year, but they were good. So anyway, I get this invite, and it says, "Do you want to go to the opening of Planet Hollywood? You're cordially invited, you and a guest." So we just finished the game. I got home. I was still in my stuff. I called Paul. And Paul was doing pretty well, still is, got Jim Eels equipment. So point being, like I was 19 or 20. Everybody wouldn't have been able to get up and go the next day. But I had one of the things with the team, we had a bunch of points. So anyway, Paul and I got on the flight. It was like the next night. We flew up there, and I kind of underestimated, because we went down. The Planet Hollywood was located near the Eaton Center. So we went down, and there was I'd say 5,000, I don't know, but there's thousands and thousands of people. This big red carpet, like People Magazine, Entertainment Weekly. So we totally underestimated it. So I went down, and I'll never forget, went into the Eaton Center, bought myself a better shirt, because I looked like a bit of a skeet. Went back in, bought a Hugo Boss, like mock neck, whatever it was. Went back in. Paul and I went to the party, and it was crazy. We went down the red carpet. It was the only time, I believe, that Rodman and Carmen Electra were filmed in public, because I think they were only married, at least when they were married. They were only married like a week. And if you look back and you Google the pictures, you'll see a lot of pictures. If you Google Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra, he's wearing this, because they were only at a couple of events, and as far as I know, that was the only one public. So they were there. Schwarzenegger's there. My God, Bruce Willis. Sporty Spice was sitting right next to me. Barry Bonds was in town because they were playing the Expos, and it was a mishmash of celebrities. It couldn't have been any crazier if we were at the Viper Room in L.A. Cindy Crawford was there. Yeah, Stallone. It was overwhelming. So anyway, we went up and sat down. I'll never forget it. When we said we were baseball players, again, I don't consider myself a baseball player, but we were playing in the summer. Paul definitely was. It was the only sport he played. So I guess we blurted that out. Instead of saying I play on the Montreal Canadiens, whatever it was, Barry Bonds, we were like, there was a row of tables, and he pushed his out, come on in. And he'd heard of Newfoundland. And the thing is, I'm not big on Barry Bonds, the whole steroid thing and everything, but he really was. And he seems arrogant on TV and stuff, but he really was nice to us that night. Like, he seemed to be in a great mood. I'll never forget that. So he was here. It's almost like two different people that I judge. Right? Say what you want. He's a great hitter. So he was next to us, and he opened the door, and he got the ball rolling. He was talking about sports and Sporty Spice. Oh God, there was like Cindy Crawford. That whole table. I don't really know if they knew much about hockey, so I kind of picked up where he left off, and I started. And I spoke for like an hour, and they were all the celebrities were there, kind of taking it in. But like we were there with, there was only 8 or 9 of the Canadians that showed up. I mean, it was old hat to a lot of them. They'd done that sort of thing before, I didn't. So none of them were really overly social, unless they were, Vinny Damphus and these guys were great people. But they weren't head over heels that Cindy Crawford was there. So I'm sure Sporty Spice and company thought that I was a more important member of the Habs. I'm sure, probably thought I was the captain. I was taking the bull by the horns, directing traffic, whatever. But Paul came with me, and we had an absolute blast at the end of the night. And this was right before Jose Theodore made the NHL permanently. So he was in the minors as well. 2 years after this, 3 years after, Theodore would end up getting the Hart Trophy. But anyway, it was Wesley Snipes. He was also real nice to us. I'd say we talked to Wesley Snipes for like an hour, and not, a lot of it was overwhelming. You go to meet these people, but they were also socializing, and I guess, the Canadians are celebrities, and because I certainly didn't think of myself like that when I was sitting there, but that's kind of the thing. It didn't seem like we were fans. It seemed like we were on their level. We were Montreal Canadians in Montreal. I don't want to sell myself short. That's a pretty big thing. And a lot of them were excited to meet us, kind of thing. So, often if you're in a room and you meet a celebrity or two, it's nice, but it's often like an autograph signing or something. You don't really get, because they're bothered. But this was unique because, they were kind of listening back, and it was a real nice social interaction. Real nice night. And it was the last that the Bulls won the championship. It was 5 in a row, right? The Last Dance, 5 or 6, whatever it was. That was the last. And there's a great story in The Last Dance. It's one of my favorite. Is the last couple episodes. Anyway, that had just happened. So knowing that, it makes it even more important. Stanley Cup final. We were at his golf tournament that summer, and in the Stanley Cup final, he made sure to use like 20 or 30 sticks in the 7 games. And so we could all get a game used Stanley Cup final stick.
And this is Brad Richards?
Not only that, Senior, he really got it for Senior. I got to be honest, because we were up at the tournament. We had a great time.
We hit it off.
Senior,
I hit it off with him.
He took the Conn Smythe trophy.
Yes, he did.
And threw it into his pool. So he goes, he's up deck. He goes, Senior, catch. And he threw down the Conn Smythe trophy right into the middle of the pool.
He didn't mean anything to him. I remember
he
going
was just
in.
So great. And
we were on our way out, catching the flight, weren't we? Driving from.
Yeah.
And he said, drop in. We had to get directions where he lived on a pond just outside of Charlottetown.
Yeah.
So we opened the door. Bray, oh yeah, boys, come on in. There's like nothing in there, no furniture. Conn Smythe is on the floor against the wall, just against the wall.
Yeah.
I said, geez, Brad,
They just sent it to him.
It doesn't mean anything to him.
He just won it. But
Yeah, he
this
just
is the
won
thing.
it.
So the year before this,
Yeah.
he told us that this was going to, so we're keeping in contact, we're calling, and so he told us, like, if he got to the finals, that became a thing, but we didn't really expect it to happen. It was Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't recall them being a juggernaut
And
in the early
I
2000s.
showed him the picture over there with
And
the
then-
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and this was early on when him and Le Cavalier were really coming into their own. So
Yes.
I'm not saying that Tampa Bay weren't good. They were clearly great.
They were,
I just
yeah.
mean like a year or two before that, it would have seemed a little bit overwhelming if we knew Richie was going to be in the...
Without
Not only
doubt,
that,
yeah.
then he keeps it and he gets Conn Smythe trophy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, perfect. So this is from the Stanley Cup final.
It's autographed here. You can't see it
Yeah.
as well with white. Brad Richards is just his. He just autographed it. Brad Richards.
To the Ryans,
Yeah, to the Ryans, Brad Richards.
you guys...
Yeah, you can barely pick it out. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't.
You guys are great.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love that happened because
Here, I'll put it.
all the rest of them we
rest-
kind of grabbed after the fact, like
Yeah.
Bobby Orr's stick. You know, it's about. But I mean, we knew Brad. But the thing is, I told you about this. The Canadians, right? I would finish the year with them, so I'd go do these events. So me and Senior went up to do the Pro-Am. I golfed with John Daly, golfed off of a
Yes.
Coke can, put a ball there, hit it.
Yes.
Freddie Couples, Marco Mira, and Mike Ware. This was, and then it turned into the Boys and Girls Club.
It was
Foundation.
huge stars. Daly
Yeah.
was Freddie Couples, and
It's crazy.
Ware was
So
there. Yeah.
then it was the Pro-Am thing.
Because I walked around. I didn't play, but I walked around
Yeah.
with the
You lost?
president. No, the president of Toyota Canada.
And that's when we really hit it off with Ron McLean. He
Yeah.
was there, and I went
Yeah.
over to his table. But this was a little bit before Brad. Brad was coming up then, and he might have been in the queue, just entered. So we did that tournament for a few years, right? And I was one of the celebrities at the beginning of it, and it was like Anne Murray, and it was this eclectic group of Canadians, 18 of us, right? Head a hole each. But then Brad ended up becoming a big star, and so he took over the whole thing, and it turned into a hockey thing.
Yes.
Because at first it was not really a hockey thing; it was raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. So then when he did it, it was the Brad Richards
I think
invitational charity tourney. So we
Crosby
would go
went
up,
to
and then
one.
Chloe came into his own. So Chloe would come up every year.
Yeah.
There was probably 5.
Danny
The
was
peak
there.
of it.
Danny.
Danny came up once.
Yeah.
But then Jeremy Hart. Then the other thing is we got a bunch of buddies that also played junior up there. Craig Hodge, Jeremy Hart, Justin
Aldrich,
Cook, people,
yes.
people like that. So we had an in there anyway. So it ended up being just great. So Brad's, it's a tight little clique in PEI, and Brad, the Kennedys, Forbes Kennedy, and Mike Kennedy, and those
Bob
guys.
McMillan, whom I played with.
I love PEI for that reason. You can go into
Yes.
any bar downtown, and they'll tell you about Slapper Donachie, who, had 50 goals for Charlottetown in 1973. They know all the stories, all the legends. Forbes Kennedy's.
4B, yeah. Well, he coached here for Corner Brook for 5 years, right? Forbes Kennedy, and I played against his brother Jamie for the New York Raiders. So we had sort of had an in that way. But they're very close shop too, and because it's so small. I mean, Charlottetown's only about 30,000 people. You have, and for the size of PEI, the number of NHLers they've had is phenomenal. Oh boy, now Newfoundland has started to produce some recently, but PEI were like, wow.
Senior, did Mike give you these?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
What did he give them to you for?
A special treat here now because Terry skates twice on Sunday, so we got him mic'd up for his afternoon skate with a bunch of other Newfoundlanders. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're at mile 1 here now. Yeah, let's see how the game goes.
Gonna be mic'd up. You. It's always 1995 on this wing. Were you guys out last night?
Yeah, I didn't go out, but I was drinking up to the house, meeting 2 people.
My bad. You got it. Four, 3. Wicker, man, you got a quick release, man. Yeah, so did I. But it just doesn't look like he's going to shoot it, and that fraction is all you need when it's a game of just fucking inches, man. It's crazy. Go, you go. They got those too. They got Nurse. Like they got a few more. Yamamoto can put it in. How do they keep being bad, man? I just don't get it. Like
to him too. I said, "Oh, he's bona fide like 1, 2, 3." Like Harris is good, but I think he's like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Because it is, like, I'm starting to second guess myself, but I mean, he's the best, man. You look at him every time he's got it, it's electric. He got to be hurting. He must be fucking demanding a trade on the inside. Well, he probably wouldn't because he's Conor McDavid, but I mean, anybody else. Yeah. 4-3, okay, let's get one.
For us?
Yeah. Fergie said to say hi, Wicker Man. Instagram stories last week. I put out that we were skating and
What's he up to these days?
stunting.
Is he still doing that?
Yeah. Oh, he does well at it now, man. Real well. Oh, yeah, great pass. I need water. Great try. It was a good shift. Go. My bad. Go, go. Rosie. Oh, it's all good. Great save. That was a great save. Go. Wicker. Yours, yours, yours. Go. Horrible play by me, man. Go. Oh my God. Sorry. Figure I'd get a shot away at least. Wait! Ah. That's in. 10-9. Okay, great pass before that. Great pass. I don't know why that guy keeps trying to dangle you through the legs. What? Like the first 5 times it didn't work. 10-9. Sorry. Should have had that. Fucking should have had it.
Sure.
I should have had it. Oh. What's Edward's first name again? Riley is? No, what's his name? Goalie? By the way, my bad. It's a good workout if nothing else. Holy Jesus.
We're down?
One. Tiny saying we're 2, but it's only room.
No, one. One for sure. I don't know how because they've got some scores. And so do we, I guess. We're down by 1. 2.
Oh, yeah!
We're only down by 1. Here we go. How did they not have more? Yeah, good job.
All right, that's it for another video of my directed studies for my master's at Ryerson University. Hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment something down below, and also, Terry's got a new book out. Check it out, it'll be linked down in the description. All right, in the meantime, stay best, kind.